You know that feeling, right? You pick up your phone, maybe just for a second,
Hmm.
and then boom, like half an hour has just disappeared scrolling.
Oh, yeah. Happens to the best of us.
It's that magnetic pull, isn't it? That's what we're really digging into today, looking at the stuff you sent over, especially that work on habit formation.
Mm.
We wanted to figure out why. Why do these platforms just grab us?
Exactly. And your points about the actual designs, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, they all have their own little tricks.
Right.
So the mission today is really to unpack the mechanics, the psychology they're tapping into to make us come back every single day.
And to help us get a grip on this, we're going to lean on Nir Eyal's hook model. It lays out these 4 steps: trigger, action, variable reward, and investment.
Really useful framework.
Yeah, it basically shows how these habits get built. So let's start right at the beginning, the trigger. What actually makes us open these apps?
Okay, the trigger. It's the spark, right? And it works on 2 levels, which is clever. You've got the external ones.
Like the notifications, someone liked your photo, that kind of thing.
Precisely. Or those emails saying you're missing out. Even just seeing the app icon on your phone screen. Little visual nudges.
Those little red dots.
Right.
They're powerful, aren't they? Like a tiny alarm bell.
They really are. But the internal triggers, I think long term, they're even more powerful.
Right, you mentioned that. How so?
Well, internal triggers are tied to our feelings, our routines. So, feeling bored,
Reach for the phone.
exactly. Feeling a bit lonely, curious, anxious even. Social media positions itself as the instant fix for that feeling.
Ah, okay. So it becomes the default response to certain emotions.
It really does. That automatic reach.
Huh.
That's the internal trigger doing its work.
Okay, so something prompts us inside or out. That brings us to action. What makes it so easy to actually do something once the app is open?
This is all about reducing friction, making it effortless. Think about infinite scroll.
Oh, yeah. There's no end. You just keep going.
Right. No natural starting point. And then you've got autoplay on TikTok or YouTube. The next video just starts.
Yeah.
You don't even have to lift a finger.
Mm-hmm. And the reactions, too, right? The one-tap likes, the hearts, retweets. It
Yeah.
takes almost zero effort.
Exactly. Zero effort. They've streamlined everything. Minimum thought required. Keep the engagement flowing.
So it's super easy to just stay longer than you meant to.
Definitely. Which leads nicely into stage 3, variable reward.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the unpredictability really hooks us.
Variable rewards,
Yeah.
right? The surprise element. You called it a digital slot machine.
That's a great way to put it. It is like a slot machine. Sometimes you scroll and find an amazing meme or a great update from a friend.
Jackpot.
Right. And other times,
Yeah.
it's just noise and ad, something boring. You never know what's coming next.
That keeps you scrolling, looking for the next potential win.
Precisely. And those notifications we talked about, they feed into this too. That little buzz creates anticipation. Ooh, who liked my post? You get that tiny dopamine hit.
Ah, the social validation buzz.
Exactly. The reward isn't guaranteed, but the possibility. That's what keeps us coming back. Which brings us to the last part, investment. How do they get us to, put skin in the game?
This is where we start contributing, isn't it? Posting our own stuff, hoping for likes, building our profile.
Yes. Every photo you post, every comment you leave, every person you follow, that's an investment. Time, effort, maybe even emotional energy.
You build up your little digital world.
You do. Your followers, the groups you're in, that's social capital on the platform. And crucially, by liking things, following accounts, you're training the algorithm.
Ah, right. Making it better for you.
Exactly. It gets more personalized, shows you stuff you're more likely to engage with, making it harder to leave because it feels tailored just for you.
So it's this loop. Trigger, easy action, unpredictable reward, and then our investment makes the next trigger more likely or more effective.
Wow. That's the hook model in a nutshell. It creates this really powerful cycle for daily use.
Okay, so beyond that model, you mentioned the algorithms themselves. They're like the hidden engine driving this, right? How do they work to keep us hooked?
Yeah, the algorithms are, well, they're key. Their main job is predicting what will keep you engaged, keep you on the platform longer.
How do they figure that out?
They track everything. What you
Yeah.
click on, that's click-through rate, how long you pause on a video or post, that's dwelled time,
Okay.
and obviously likes, shares, comments, saves. All those engagement signals tell the algorithm what you find interesting or valuable.
So every tap, every swipe, it's all feeding this machine that's building a profile of me.
Pretty much. Building a hyper-personalized feed just for you. Your Instagram looks different from mine. Your TikTok For You page is unique.
The goal is relevance then. Make it feel like it gets you.
Exactly. Make it so compelling, so aligned with what it thinks you want that you just don't want to look away. And that leads to the rabbit hole effect.
Ah, yes, the rabbit hole. We've all been there. One cat video leads to an hour of cat videos.
Precisely. Or, you watch one video about, say, fitness.
And suddenly your whole feed is gym tips and workout routines.
Right. The algorithm sees you engaged, so it doubles down. More of the same, which can be good for discovery, but
But it can also create bubbles, right? Like with news or politics. You click one thing and then only see that viewpoint.
that's a major concern. It can definitely limit exposure to different perspectives and just feed you more of what keeps you clicking, which might be more extreme or echo chambery content. It keeps you on the app longer, though.
And it's not just what we see, but when, too. You mentioned timing.
Oh, yeah. Timing is crucial. The algorithms learn your patterns. When do you usually check Instagram?
Probably first thing in the morning, maybe lunchtime.
Right. So the app learns that. And it's more likely to push notifications or maybe save the best content for you around those times.
To maximize the chance I'll open it and get sucked in.
Exactly. If you always scroll TikTok before bed, it might hold back a really viral-looking video to show you then, knowing you're likely to watch. It's strategic delivery.
Wow, okay, that's quite sophisticated. So, we have the hook, the algorithms. Let's dig into the psychological triggers they're actually activating. Social validation seems huge.
Absolutely fundamental. We're social creatures. We crave connection, acceptance, every positive comment that triggers dopamine.
The feel-good chemical.
Right. That study you flagged showed it activates the nucleus accumbens, the brain's reward center. It literally feels good, neurologically speaking. So we seek more of it.
A constant hunt for those little digital pats on the back.
Pretty much. And then there's its close cousin, FOMO, fear of missing out.
FOMO, yeah. Seeing everyone else's highlight reel.
Exactly. Especially with things like Instagram stories or live videos that disappear.
Creates urgency. Gotta check now or you'll miss it.
Precisely. That ephemerality drives repeat checking. And seeing others having fun, traveling, succeeding, it can make you feel anxious, like your life isn't as exciting.
Yeah, that comparison trap is rough. And there's always something new, isn't there? It never runs out.
That's the endless novelty factor. TikTok's For You page is the perfect example. It's designed to never run out. Always something new, algorithmically chosen for you.
Same with YouTube's autoplay. Just keeps feeding you content.
Right. It taps into our natural curiosity,
Yeah.
but it also eliminates that feeling of, okay, I'm done now. There's always more just a swipe away.
And what about the game-like elements? Streaks and stuff.
Gamification. Very powerful. Think Snapchat streaks.
Oh yeah, I gotta keep the streak alive. Daily snaps back and forth.
Exactly. It creates this sense of obligation. You don't want to be the one to break it. Or like Duolingo with its daily XP goals and streak freezes.
The fear of losing progress.
Precisely. It taps into our desire for achievement and loss aversion. Makes checking in feel like a necessity, not just a choice.
Man, it's a whole toolbox of psychological levers they're pulling. Okay, so we're using these platforms daily, often for hours. What are the real-world consequences?
Well, they can be significant. One big one people report is difficulty concentrating, a shorter attention span.
Because we're trained for quick hits. Little bursts of info.
Seems likely. Constant scrolling, rapid context switching. It might make sustained focus on, say, reading a book or working on a complex task feel harder, less rewarding.
That makes sense. And sleep. I know screen time before bed is bad news.
Definitely a concern. The blue light from screens messes with melatonin production, the hormone that regulates sleep.
So it makes it harder to fall asleep.
Yes, and harder to get good quality sleep. Plus, scrolling stimulating content late at night just keeps your brain wired.
Right, right. And mentally, we hear a lot about anxiety and depression linked to social media.
Yeah, the link is complex, but the potential is there. That social comparison aspect we talked about, constantly comparing your reality to curated online lives, can really impact self-esteem.
Why is their life so much better? That kind of thinking.
Exactly. And for some people, it can even lead to addiction-like symptoms. Feeling irritable when you can't get online.
Withdrawal.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Or needing more and more screen time to get the same feeling. That's tolerance, like any addictive behavior pattern.
It does sound quite concerning when you lay it all out. But it's not hopeless, right? You mentioned there are ways to, push back, regain control.
Absolutely. Awareness is the first step, but there are practical things you can do. Reducing triggers is a big one.
Like turning off notifications.
Yes. especially the non-essential ones.
Hmm.
Do you really need to know instantly when someone likes a comment? Probably not.
Good point.
Also, that grayscale mode trick you mentioned trying, making the screen black and white. It actually makes the app way less visually appealing, less stimulating.
Interesting. Takes away the shiny allure. What about breaking the reward cycle itself?
Setting app timers can help. Most phones have them built in now. Decide, okay, 30 minutes for Instagram today, and stick to it.
Creates a hard stop.
It does. And also, consciously curating your feed. Unfollow accounts that just make you scroll endlessly or feel bad about yourself. Be intentional.
Okay. And what about that automatic reach? When you're bored and just grab the phone?
Need to replace the habit. Have alternatives ready. If boredom strikes, instead of scrolling, maybe pick up a book. Go for a quick walk. Call a friend.
Have a plan B for the trigger.
Exactly. Something more fulfilling than mindless scrolling.
And what about a full-on digital detox? Is that worth trying?
It can be really insightful. Even just 24 hours off social media. See how you feel, what urges come
It
up.
was a self-experiment.
Yeah, some people find deleting the apps for a week or longer really reduces anxiety, makes them feel more present. It's about finding what works for you.
It feels like there are ways to manage it with conscious effort. So, looking ahead, is this just going to get more intense? Will platforms get even better at hooking us?
It seems likely, honestly. With AI getting smarter, that personalization is just going to get more and more precise. Feeds could become almost irresistibly tailored to you.
Wow.
And then you have things like VR, social media, the metaverse.
Yes.
Deeper immersion could mean bigger challenges with disconnecting.
Feels like we could get lost in there. Is anyone pushing back, regulations or anything?
There's definitely more conversation about it. Things like the EU's Digital Services Act are trying to bring more transparency and maybe curb some of the more manipulative design pattern.
Banning infinite scroll, maybe?
That's been discussed, yeah. And just generally, as people become more aware of how these platforms work, there might be a bigger push for more mindful tech use. We'll see.
Well, this has been really eye-opening, peeling back the curtain on why we scroll. The big takeaway for me is just how intentional it all is. It's not accidental, it's designed using psychology.
Exactly. It's engineered engagement.
Yeah.
And understanding those mechanisms, the hook model, the algorithms, the triggers, that awareness is really the first most crucial step.
It gives you back some power, doesn't it, knowing what's going on?
It empowers you to make more conscious choices.
So maybe the thought to leave everyone with is, now that you know a bit more about these hooks, how might that change your relationship with social media? How could you use this awareness to be more intentional? Definitely something to think about next time you reach for your phone.